welcome you all to today's lesson. So we are starting perpendicular line, how we can find a perpendicular line. So this is a very simple lesson that we are having tonight. So I want everyone to understand even as we go in details. So how do you find a perpendicular line? How do you get to find a perpendicular line? So finding a perpendicular line is very simple. The way you get to do so, before we start, if you are new to this YouTube channel, this is my official YouTube channel. You can kindly subscribe. And if you want tuitions, we are starting online tuitions. We've already started. We started this same week. So those that could like to join us, it's just affordable fees. You can call me on this number 0971 06 6747. This is my number 0971 06 6747. You can call me on this number, then I'll be able to help you with mathematics. Okay, so let us see now how we are going to answer some of the questions that may come in your exams. What we are going to do is that the way we get to find a perpendicular line, when you are given 2 points, let's say you are given a coordinate A, which is 2, 4. You are also given another coordinate. So you are also given another coordinate, which is B, which is 0, 6. This is a coordinate which you are given. So you are given these two coordinates. Then you are taught to find a perpendicular line of this. So you are taught to find a perpendicular line. Find a perpendicular line of AB. How can you find a perpendicular line of AB? So a perpendicular line, it is also called a perpendicular equation. This is what you need to do. It is also called a perpendicular equation. So what you are going to do, the first thing you need to do is to find the gradient. So the first thing you need to do is find the what? Find the gradient. You say gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Where you know that this is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2, like this. Then you just substitute in the formula which you've written here. So what's the formula? What's the formula? What is y2? Y2 is 6 minus. What is y1? Your y1, 4. You say over x2, 0, minus. What is your x1? It is 2, which is equal to 2 divided by negative 2. Finally, you are going to have your gradient as negative 1. So 2 divided by negative 2, the answer is negative 1. This is the gradient that you found. So now this gradient, we cannot use this gradient to find the equation which is perpendicular to these 2 points. So how do we go about that? You know that this is the line, AB, it is a line. So I want to find an equation which is perpendicular to this line, AB. So we find the first gradient. Then you know that line AB is perpendicular to the line that we want to find. So it is a perpendicular line which we want to find. So how do we find that perpendicular line? You know that gradient 1 times gradient 2, you need to get negative what? Negative 1. This is what you need to do. So gradient 1 is this one that we found, which is negative what? Negative 1. So you're going to put your negative 1 there. Then you say M2, which is equal to negative 1. You divide both sides by negative 1. You also divide this side by negative 1. So you are going to have finally as m2 is equal to negative 1 divided by negative 1. It is 1. So this one which you found is m2. Have you seen? So this is now the gradient that you are going to use now in finding the what? The perpendicular line. This is the gradient that we are going to use. So this is the gradient that we are going to use. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What's the next thing? You just say y minus y1 is equal to y minus y1 is equal to m. This is the gradient. Then you say x minus x1. This is the formula that we've been using. I believe we are familiar with this one. We are all familiar with this equation. We are able to answer questions related to this. So now with this, now you say y is constant minus, what is your y1? What is your y1? You check. y1 was what? 4. Then x1 was 2. So y1 is 4 is equal to, what is your gradient? You cannot use the gradient 1. We always use gradient 2. So you always need to use gradient 2. So it is 1. X minus, what is x1? x1 was 2. You do this. Where you say y is equal to, this 4 will come this other side. 1 times x, it is x. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So when this 2 comes this side, this 4 comes this side, it becomes plus 4. So with this now, you say y is equal to x, negative 2 plus 4, it is plus 2. So this is the equation which is what? Perpendicular. So this is a perpendicular equation. Perpendicular equation. It is called a perpendicular line or what? Equation. You can call it a perpendicular equation or a perpendicular line. So these are steps that I want you to know. These are things that I want you to understand. Very simple. So today's lesson is very simple. Everyone is going to understand. We are all going to know this. Then I continue where I'm going to give you another example 2. We talk about example 2. Example 2 is saying, given that y is equal to 4x minus 1, find the equation perpendicular. Find the equation perpendicular to, so you are told to find the equation perpendicular to y is equal to 4x minus 1 if it passes, so it passes through 2, 1. This is the question which you are given. So this is the question we are having here. Given that y is equals to 4x minus 1, find the equation perpendicular to this. So I want to find the equation which is perpendicular to that. So how do you answer such a question? If a question has to come in this manner, how do you get to answer it? What are some of the things are you supposed to do for you to answer such an equation? So what you need to do is that you need first to find the gradient of this one which you are given. The gradient of the equation which you are given. So you are given that equation which is y is equal to 4x minus 1. This is the equation which we are given. So the gradient, I told you that when you check y is equal to mx plus c. This number which is attached with x, that is the gradient. So in our case, What is our gradient? Gradient is equal to what? 4. Gradient is equal to what? Gradient is equal to 4. So now, you don't want to find the equation with this gradient. No. You are taught to find the equation perpendicular. So whenever you are finding the equation perpendicular, you need to find the gradient 2. So you are going to say gradient 1 times gradient 2 is equal to negative 1. This is just the formula that we use. So this is the formula that you also need to know. So you need to be using this formula. Gradient 2. Gradient 1 is what? This is the gradient 1. Gradient 1. So 4m2 is equal to negative 1. You divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. This gets to cancel. Gradient 2 is equal to negative 1 over 4. Have you seen the way I've answered this? This is how you need to answer it, and this is how you need to know. You found the gradient 2. The gradient 2 is the one that we are now going to use. So this is the one that we are going to use. So now you just write the equation of the straight line, the same one that we've been writing. You say y minus y1 is equal to m open bracket x minus x1. This is what you are going to use. What is your x1, y1? You've got a coordinate. You are given that coordinate. You say this is x1, this is y1. This is what you are going to do. So with this now, you just substitute in this equation that you have here. You say y minus, what is your y1? 1. y1 is 1. Which is equal to, what is your gradient? Negative 1 over 4. Open, what is your x? That one is constant. Minus x1, 2. You put your 2 there. This is what you're going to do. Then this one will come this side. You're going to have y is equal to, what is negative 1 over 4 times x? It's negative 1 over 4x, like that. What is negative times negative? Here we multiply this one times that one also. So we are going to have a positive 1 times 2. It is 2 over 4. This is what I am going to have. Then this one that is coming this side, it's plus what? Plus 1. So these are what we need to do. Then you just conclude and say y is equal to negative 1 over 4. You put your x there. Then you write this one. How can you answer that one? So I believe no one is facing challenges on how to simplify that. So I'm going to do it on a separate paper. I'm going to do it here so that we all understand. It is 2 over 4 plus 1 over 1. What is the lowest common denominator there? It is 4. 4 into 4, 1. 1 times 2, it is 2 plus. What is 1 into 4? It is 4. 4 times 1 is 4, which is equal to, that one you get 6. 6 over what? 6 over 4. So which number can go into 4 and 6? 2. 2 there, it is 3. 2 there, it is 2. So the answer we've gotten is 3 over 2. This is the answer that you are going to put even there. So simplifying this, we get what? We get 3 over 2. So we say plus 3 over 2. So this equation which is here, this equation here, y is equal to negative 1 over 4x plus 3 over 2. This equation that you are able to see here, this is the equation which is perpendicular to that. So this is how you get to find a perpendicular equation or a perpendicular line. Just one and the same thing. So I want you to understand this, and I want you to get all the procedures that I was doing. This is very simple. You can do it. I know we are capable. We can answer such a question. So this is where we are going to end from tonight. This is a simple lecture, a simple lesson that I want you to get, that I want you to understand. So let's make sure that we understand this part, we get all the concepts that we need to get on this one. This is a simple lesson and you can do it. So let me give you just one question, one or two questions. I see how we are improving. I see how we can answer them. So let's see how we are going to answer the few questions that I'm going to give you. So far, the response is good. From the work that I gave yesterday, people were able to get everything correct, which is an improvement to me. I'm very grateful for that. So people are improving. Even the work that I'm going to give today, I believe you are also going to answer it correctly. So let us see how we are going to answer the work that I'm about to give you under what we've just covered. Thank you so much.